Calling on the Creator, Great Mystery Source, and the Creatrix. Please bless us with all that we need for this beautiful conversation. For the highest good, for divine plan alignment, for Mother Gaia and the new earth coming in. Ho. Calling out to Mother Gaia and your sacred union partner, Guy. Please bless us with all that we need, so that this beautiful conversation will bring forward the wisdom,
Mother will rejoice.
the healing energies even that Mother is calling for to help us birth this new earth.
Have a voice.
Calling also on all
Mother
the other
Earth,
spirit teams
Mother
behind
Fire,
the 1,000 Goddesses
Mother
Gathering
Air,
Global Grid and the work that I've
Mother
surrendered to do to
Water.
serve Mother in the Great Mother
We
Love
come
way.
to you with
Please
humble
hold us in
hearts.
sacred space.
Sister, goddess,
Please help us be focused
priestess,
and grounded,
daughter.
and to say the words that will have the most impact for those who will be listening, for their highest good, for divine plan alignment. As we all collectively focus on the rising of the divine feminine, the healing of the wounded masculine, rising of the divine masculine, and the birthing of our glorious new earth. Ho.
Oh, thank you, Mare. What a beautiful prayer, and what a beautiful way to begin this sacred feminine conversation. This is Schamet Horsefield, New Paradigm Priestess, and I've got Mare Cromwell here with me today. She is a Gaia mystic, high priestess, and the visionary creatrix of the 1,000 Goddesses Gathering Global Grid, an activation and healing of the goddess, of the feminine rising, of the sacred divine feminine, and an activation all over the globe. There are going to be goddesses and priestesses in ceremony, in celebration of this great Mother Earth. So it's so wonderful to have the creatrix here with me today. Mare and I connected on a spiritual level. I had this deep soul connection with her and reached out to her when I was birthing the Awaken the Goddess Within Global Summit a few years ago. And I now know why I reached out to her, because our vision, our passion, our purpose, our healing, our reason for being is very much aligned. And so it's wonderful to collaborate and support each other's vision and keep getting that message out there of the divine feminine rising and the healing of the sacred divine feminine, as well as the divine masculine. So it's so great to have you here, Mare, and I'm so pleased and so excited that you are going to be a speaker in the next summit. The next summit is coming out in February, and it is going to be about the awakening of the new feminine paradigm and leadership, sacred divine feminine leadership. So very excited about that. Mare, so great to have you here. So happy to hear everything that you have to say. So great to have you here.
Well, Schamet, I want to thank you for having me. Thank you for taking this time to talk with me. Yeah, the 1,000 Goddesses Gathering Global Grid is was really a request from Mother Gaia. I'm a Gaia mystic and Gaia high priestess, and Mother Gaia told me in late fall of 2015 that I was to organize a global grid. Actually, at the time, it was to gather 1,000 goddesses. So there's been an evolution in this global event. And the vision of it is to bring healing into the planet around the world, to create a unified field of divine feminine ceremonies, calling in all these powerful divine feminine beings on the spirit plane, and even divine masculine ones to hold space, to be guardians, so that we can weave a whole higher resonance of energy around the planet to help birth the new earth.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And so, what does this new earth mean to you?
The new earth is uh, is where we're headed, as chaotic as it seems right now. The new earth is going to be, and it actually already is here in the multidimensional planes. It's not like it's way far off planet, waiting to come in. It's already here, but we just need to draw it in and raise up to it as a collective humanity. But we will be living in such a way that our intuitive gifts will be off the charts. We will totally trust that we are taken care of. Everything will be in balance. We will have relearned basically how to live on earth in a way that supports the health and the vitality of everything around us, the waters, the trees, the nature spirits. I work with the nature spirits. I love them dearly. um, so the new earth is about rising up and awakening and clearing and shifting out of these denser ways of being that we've gotten so mired in for thousands and thousands of years. And it's happening. Many call it the ascension, but it is happening. And I could go on and on about that because from what I understand, there have been numerous attempts over millions of years for ascension, full ascension to happen here on earth, but it's been blocked again and again and again because there's certain energies and entities that don't want it to happen. But earth was always meant to be, as I heard, one way of wording it is a galactic outpost for spiritual consciousness, a place within this part of the universe that is very high spiritual vibration, where actually other beings were meant to come to for retreat, to take in the beautiful diversity and joy and harmony that Earth is meant to be embodying. But we got off track. So we're now back on track. And my work is very, very committed to this. And the way I word it is I'm here to love the new earth in.
Yeah, that reminds me of your book. Can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Well, I actually have 3 books.
Oh, three already. Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 books. Yeah. My first one, which came out in 2002, is called If I Gave You God's Phone Number. I interviewed very different people over 7 years: Christians, Jews, atheists, Cherokee medicine woman. And I asked each person the question: if I gave you God's phone number, what would you do with it? So that's my first book. My second book, and third one actually, are conversations with Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, uh, because I had a really powerful spiritual experience in June of 2012 where Mother Gaia's energy and consciousness was brought into my energy body in a ceremony with a gifted Algonquin man. And right after that, Mother started talking to me very clearly and asked me to do the first book with her called Messages from Mother Earth Mother. And then a year and a half later, she asked me to write the Great Mother Bible, which I consider my doozy. I didn't want to do that book when she woke me up at 5 a.m. in November 2013. She said, because I thought I was going to move to Washington State and work with a gifted medicine woman, help her set up a healing center and all that. And Mother Gaia woke me up and said, "You're not moving to Washington State. You're going to stay here in Maryland and write the Great Mother Bible." And I was like, "Oh, no, I can't do that. That's too big of a title." She just kept on saying, "You're the one. All you need to do is listen. You're the one."
Yeah.
So the conversation started in January 2nd, 2014.
How wonderful, Mare. Thank you so
Humbling.
much for sharing about your books. I know maybe this is a little off topic, but how can people get your books?
Well, you can order them off my website if you'd like an autographed copy, marecromwell.com. I know you'll have that information below here. And you can get them any place online. You can ask bookstores to order one for you. They're available all over the world, and the ebooks are available. So thank you for asking that. Mother wants, this is wisdom. This is actually wisdom to help birth the new earth within those books. There's a lot in them.
Thank you, Mare. Thank you. It feels so important and so relevant and necessary for everything that's happening on the planet. So thank you so much for doing the work that you're doing. And I want all three of those books. They sound amazing. So
Oh,
what is
wow. I'd be honored.
Yeah, so what is your vision for this event? And not just your vision right now, but your vision for, say, 10 years, the long-term vision for the work that you're doing, the 1,000 Goddesses Gathering Global Grid.
The vision for this global grid, this unified field, is really Mother's vision. And that is for, we have to heal. We have to shift our ways. And plus, there are so many beautiful, powerful spiritual beings who are waiting for us to call on them to help us make this shift, to clear. Honestly, part of what the Thousand Goddesses Gathering Global Grid is about is clearing denser energies from the Earth's plane, the multidimensional planes here on Earth, because we humans have gotten so mired in the despair and the fear that we don't know our way out of it, a lot of us. And, one thing I haven't mentioned yet, which is very important, is that this global grid is based on the Tibetan prophecy that when 1,000 goddesses or Tibetan Taras unite, the tone of our sacred earth will shift from fear to compassion. And so this is a huge part of this global event, which is happening just 2 days from now, actually, but it is an annual event, is to do ceremony, to get together in sacred circles and do ceremony. And if you are going to do a ceremony alone at your altar, that's beautiful too. But all of these ceremonies are linked spiritually then to really create a field of energy that is about calling in the love, calling in the divine feminine, calling in the harmony and the compassion and the various archetypal energies of the divine feminine, which we have been missing here on earth for thousands of years. So this is like this huge event to let's bring it on, let's wake up our earth and shift the energies and clear the denser energies and wake up our hearts and really move toward to a way of being that serves everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mare, for doing this work. And so 10 years into the future, what does that look like exactly? I want to hear a little bit more.
Schamet, that is an interesting question to ask me. It's kind of a challenging question to ask me because what I can tell you, the best way for me to really respond is Mother has a plan. And this is how I've been living for 10 years now, more than 10 years. Mother has a plan. The world is changing so fast right now that I can't tell you even where I'm going to be in 10 years. What I can tell you is that wherever I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing is still going to be focused on loving the new earth in. And will the 1,000 Goddesses Gathering Global Grid be happening in 10 years? Probably. But I ask every year after the event is over, I ask Mother, do you want me to do it again? And I keep on hearing from her, we need to continue this until we really reach that place that is fulfilling the Tibetan prophecy of shifting the world from fear to compassion. So my answer, I guess, even though I'm kind of hesitant to go, because 10 years seems so far off, is given what I know right now and how Mother needs all hands on deck, we will continue to do this global grid. We will continue to call for the ceremonies and the unified field of healing. So that is the best way I can respond in the moment.
I love your response because, who knows what's going to happen in 10 years? Maybe we will be celebrating in the new paradigm, right?
I love that idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. What are the main benefits for women that decide they want to get involved in the grid and do their own ceremonies, how are they benefiting on a individual level?
Mhm. That's a great question. There are various ways that women can benefit. And I also want to put it out there that we encourage the women who are organizing these ceremonies to invite the masculine in for the ceremony, to invite men to join them, to step into their divine masculine self, so that they can understand that part of the role of the divine masculine is holding space for sacred ceremony for the feminine to bring forward. So that's, I would say that's one benefit, if the priestesses, the goddesses wish to do that, is to open up to the beauty of having the divine masculine join them. And we did that with one of the ceremonies we did on the washing mall, because the first two ceremonies were on the washing mall. Another benefit for the goddesses, the priestesses, is to step into another level of empowerment, I would believe, to understand that we are all weaving a global web of healing together. And this is a way of stepping forward in your work, in your commitment to serve the mother, to serve the new earth, to serve the greater good for all here on the planet. And when I say all, I mean all beings, even the stone people, the tree people. Uh, there is another benefit, which is a little bit out there for people, but I think it's important to bring this forward, because this is a multidimensional field that is manifested. And there are so many spirit teams that support this global grid. And last year, the unicorns came forward, and they received the call, and I feel them coming in right now. I don't know if you feel that energy shift, but they're coming in right now. They went around multidimensionally to all the ceremonies around the world and blessed each woman's womb space with their horns, which is, their horns are very healing. And so they were a very significant part, actually, of the unified field. And so every woman received a healing from the unicorns last year. And I have already gotten word that the unicorns are planning to do this again, because a huge part of what we women need to do, and men do too, because they also have a womb space in their etheric body, is we have to clear the denser energies from our womb spaces. We have to, all the ways we've been suppressed and silenced and violated, has basically clogged up, I would say, and it's a kind of a coarse way to say it, but our womb space, our lower chakras. And so any and all healing energies that we can receive and bring into ourselves is going to support us stepping into our divine feminine selves, which is going to support us, and it's going to support Mother Gaia and the world at large. And there are other spirit teams that have been coming in to support too. I could go on and on.
Yeah, I know. Oh, thank you for that. And my last and final question is, I'd love to know about you. Can you tell us a little bit about you and what you offer?
Sure. Well, I consider myself, as I mentioned earlier, a Gaia mystic, and Mother Gaia told me that it's now time for me to call myself a Gaia high priestess. Some people might call me a medicine woman. I have a healing practice. I'm an author, as I mentioned. I really consider myself a humble servant to the Great Mother. And I lead a year-long course that Mother asked me to organize called the Great Mother Love Way. And then there are advanced classes in that. And I do Gaia teaches. I'm constantly receiving messages from Mother, and I put them up on my YouTube channel. Sometimes they go out in my newsletters or on my Facebook page. So I'm a voice for Mother, and I'm part of her ground crew. There are many of us who are in her ground crew, but that's what I consider myself to be. And it's a humbling path that I walk.
Yes, it is, Mare, and it's a very necessary one. I'm so in admiration of the work that you do, and for all of you out there listening right now, I am a sponsor of Mare's work, and the next summit that's coming up, which is I'm so excited about, Sacred Divine Feminine Leadership, and how we are birthing the new paradigm. And this beautiful Mare Cromwell is going to be one of the speakers, of course, because she is an incredible awakened new feminine leader, and very humble, but also very powerful. And so very much looking forward to our next interview for the summit. And with all the work that you're doing, it's so necessary with what's happening to Mother Earth. And it requires our allegiance, our awakening, our dedication, our responsibility. And to me, it's some of the most important work that needs to happen. So I want to thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for all the work that you do. And is there any last and final words that you'd like to say, Mare, before we close today?
Two things. First, I really want to thank you for being a sponsor of the Global Grid this year. That was just beautiful that you came on board in that way. So thank you. And for some reason, this is coming forward from Mother. She wants to encourage everyone listening to this to know that life is meant to be celebrated, and that anything we can do to have fun and to bring that joy energy forward, even if it means dancing in your space when you feel like you just have to get away from the computer, or go outside and hug a tree, is that we live in an incredibly complex, beautiful world filled with a lot of joy and love that surrounds us from all the natural realms. They're already in the new earth energetics. They never left those higher vibrational ways of being. So Mother just wants me to put that out there, is go out and have fun, celebrate, dance, get your yayas out. We've all been so tested, and we continue to be tested, but get your yayas out, and we're gonna all help love Mother in. It comes from our heart.
Love that so much. Thank you, Mare. That's a good reminder for me, because I'm seeing the sun outside and my little dog barking, and I think I'm going to head to the woods and enjoy my walk with my kids and my dog.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
it's so important to get out into nature and celebrate, and that is raising the vibration on the planet. So I'm really happy to leave on that note. Thank you so much, and so many blessings to you.
Thank you, Schamet. It's a joy to be with you.
You too. Bye. And I'll leave all of the information in the comments, so you can get in touch with Mare, and maybe you want to set up your own global grid gathering next year. Get in touch with Mare. She is so helpful, and I have been loving doing the ceremonies. I did one last year, I think the year before, and I'm doing my third one this year. It's such powerful work, and I highly recommend collaborating with other women, because that's the fun and the joy. So often we do things alone, but if we can come together and unify and collaborate, there's so much healing that comes from that.
We know in our bones that we came for this shift. From fear to love, to offer our gift. We have come to midwife an era of peace. Waters cleansed an ocean of grief. We came to remember. We came to release. Each one of us came for this liberation song. Our long walk to freedom forged us wise and strong. Sophia, Pomona, Shakina Parvati, Artemis Lakshmi, Venus Shakti, Gaia Inanna, Minerva Persephone, Ostara Hathor, Demeter, Kali. When 1,000 goddesses gather, the great mother will rejoice. When 1,000 goddesses gather,